Hola Ghost, it's Coswald with Midnight Lights Gaming, bringing you an expert archer in-depth tutorial, bringing you all the tips and tricks that you need to be the best archer and a complete archer badass. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Midnight Lights. Again, my goal is always to help you improve and just generally have more fun gaming and look better gaming. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's talk about the goals of this video, Ghost. So first, my goal is to make you unstoppable with the bow and be able to clear out groups of guys, whether they see it or don't, just like in this little video clip here. Two, I think working with the bow can be hard and being really good with it can be hard. So I want to make that challenge more fun, and always I want to help you look and feel good when you're in combat. Next, I want to talk about my combat philosophy when it comes to archery and, being an expert archer. So that doesn't mean using my bow for absolutely neutralizing every target. You can see there I use the beehive. Really, it's about the bow being the primary thing that I use, but having a lot of fun with combat, trying to use stealth, all the tools at my disposal, but primarily I'm going to be using my bow. Like you can see, I used a wind chime to get a guy over there. My goal is always to have a lot of fun in combat, to really not give guys a chance of seeing me or beating me, and this is how I do that, where the bow is the primary thing that I use. So you can see, first and foremost with my philosophy, I want you to have fun and experience joy during combat. The bow is primary, like I said, but not the only weapon. You really don't need many upgrades at all. I did this video very early in the game, but I'll go over my layout and then also make it your own. What my philosophy is doesn't have to be yours, but I really hope this helps, and I hope it makes archery during this game a lot more fun. So the way I set up this video is that all of the tips are in one combat sequence, and it's early in the game, so I've just upgraded my Tadayori's armor a few times. That helps with knocking speed, which I'll talk about in my concentration meter. And then the only helpful thing that I have is this one charm of precision, which does a moderate increase to arrow damage. To get us started, I'm going to talk about setting up your shot. So what's cool is that when you're in the knock position, which is where your arrow is loaded, but you're not drawing the bow, is you can basically aim during that time. So all you have to do is draw the bow, you're already aimed, and you can set up your shot. So that's always a good thing to do, especially when these guys don't know where you are and you have time to do it. Next, you want to scope and use your environment. So where are all the targets? Do the targets have line of sight on other targets? You want to be very cognizant of your environment, and that also includes where are lanterns, where are beehives, where are things that are gonna do damage, neutralize targets, but not compromise your position. So you can see here, I scope a guy below, there's a guy on the lookout, and then there's also the lantern up there. So important to scope and use your environment. They also clearly can't see each other. We're going to talk about how best to aim at different ranges. So this is mid-range. He's not too far away, but he's not point blank. So anytime a target's mid-range, to neutralize them, you want to aim for the top of the head, just like I am here in this screenshot. Next tip is you want to use concentration only when you really need it, and for me, that's anytime a target's moving. It basically slows them to a stop. Aim for the top of the head, mid-range, got it. This next tip was on my beginner tips as well, but always be replenishing your ammo, and then you'll also want to be always thinking about how to get to high ground. This game really provides advantage for you being out of line of sight. If you're on rooftops, targets don't look up, so always look for that high ground anytime you can. So this is what I consider short range, and anytime you're short range, you're aiming for middle of the head. And next, let's talk about armor. It's a big topic. We got to talk about it. So anytime someone has head armor or coverage, you want to aim for the face only. You got to be able to see their face. these are the same kinds of guys. They have head armor, so I don't even mess with it. If I can get a stealth assassination with these guys, I will, or if I have a clear shot at their face, I'll take it. Archers seem to be pretty vulnerable. Sometimes, for me, a body shot will kill them. You want to aim for the head, obviously, but they tend to be pretty vulnerable. So too are the guys who throw those sticky bombs. I've found that sometimes a shot to their chest will kill them. I tend to try and stealth kill these guys. So if they don't have any head armor, you can just take a headshot. Again, this is like mid-range, so aiming for the top of the head, but headshot only. And then obviously for a leader, they're pretty much covered head to toe. I don't mess with them, but you can get a shot at their feet and legs. Where were we? Oh yeah, this guy, what happens to him? Oh, done. Okay, sticking to high ground here. Okay, so let's talk about long-range shots. So we've talked about mid-range, we've talked about short-range. Long-range shots, I typically aim up in the middle of that first line. That does well for me here. I also think there are super long-range shots, which you're not going to see in this video, and that's that second line, or between the first and second line, you can typically do pretty well, but long-range like this, middle of that center line, you got it. So sticking to those rooftops. I could have concentrated here, but he was pretty exposed. Alright, so next tip, don't take bad shots. This is a tough shot. I got to get him square in the face because he's got head armor. No one's around. I have a clear path to this guy. And like I said, when they have head armor, I typically try and do stealth shots. Or excuse me, stealth assassinations. Alright, making my way to try and see if I can get him with an assassination. Looks like he's got a buddy there. Oh, and there's a beehive. Just a reminder to know your environment. And so obviously one upgrade I have here is 2 assassinations. And I love incorporating stealth and assassinations into my bow and archer work. I just think it's more fun. It's more smooth. Way more likely to be successful. So I definitely think that's a tip. And I really encourage people to do it. Got another guy here, no armor, so got him. Top of the head, mid-range, got him. Sometimes elevation matters. Obviously, you want to aim a little higher if you're shooting up, and you have a little more leeway when you're shooting down at guys. But generally, my rules around and tips around range in this video are pretty good regardless of elevation. Pending, massive elevation difference. Alright, so during this next section, one of my favorite things to do, because I think it's fun and I think it kind of messes with the guys too in a fun way, is I like to take a shot and move, even if I'm not successful in that shot, like I'm about to be here where I don't actually get the perfect shot on one of these guys, but I like to take a shot and move so they don't know where I am, particularly if I can keep to high ground. So I'm gonna neutralize that target. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna go find another high ground that I can take another shot. So hit and move, hit and move, hit and move. It messes with the guys, and again, I just think that kind of stealth is really fun and provides a lot of joy for me in the game. So I don't have any really good shots here. That's a little far for a guy with head armor, but here comes this dude. Top of the head, mid-range, done. Okay, so I don't have a ton of targets right here, and I'm gonna just kind of decide that's the only damage I take in this whole video. It's so frustrating. But I saw a chance to hit that beehive, I did. But now we're getting into more close combat, right? These guys know where I am, so I'm gonna talk about close combat. Again, that was close ranged. He had head armor, so you really gotta hit him in the face, right in the face. So I'm making the decision here. I had an opportunity for a dual assassination, but it didn't work. So I'm in close combat now. And the key things here are to create space. You want to roll, you want to dodge, you want to create space between you and the target so you can get clean shots and use concentration to slow them to a stop basically and get those shots. I don't know how that wasn't a headshot. Maybe it was the shoulder, but it took 2 shots to get that guy, and that's okay. Again, I'm replenishing. I'm hitting R2 over all these guys in the hopes that I get an arrow. But yeah, in close combat, you need space to have time to draw your bow and release. All right, still more high ground. Seeing if I can get a good shot here. I do, and again, because I'm in high ground, it gives me this big advantage. They don't know where to find me. So again, you always want to be sticking to high ground. So at this point, there aren't a lot of enemies. I'm willing to get into a close combat situation, A, because it's fun, and B, because I think I can take these guys. Of course, one of them is a leader, so we know we're not trying to take him down. I didn't know this dude was here, so again, I'm going to slow things down so I can show you it's close combat. I create some space. Pretty close range, top of the head, but got him headshot, no problem. He had no head armor. So of course my last tip is have fun. I really think when you do this stuff and do it right and you know what you're doing, games become less frustrating, even if you're challenged a lot, because you just look so stylistic and cool. So thanks for watching Midnight Lights Gaming. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Midnight Lights. And this whole thing I'm going to show in Uninterrupted next. So if you want to watch it without the tips, here you go.
역시 헛 빅스의 공동 따라 붙을 거야. 내 구슬 탄다. 숨났은 벌검줄. 손부시가 있는데 우주셔야지. Барчла хан. Тэд энэс мутар чадахгүй. Одоо өгсөн онцсомороо. Ой. Буцаад ирж мэдэн. Сэрэмжтэй бай. Ахаад учруу. Харчлаа. Зэвсэг. Ой, өнөөхийг чи хардаа. Хаана вэ? Энийг хийсэн хүн. Ухух ёстой. Sen mere amarsa handan jargana musamurai. Ямар нэг юм хармуу? Юм аа тэр мөн. Свобода! Хүн бидэн лу хар. Nathan!